Hi, welcome to today's Yin flow. For today's practice, you are going to want a blanket, a block, a bolster, or a pillow from your bed works just fine. We're gonna get started in an easy seat, starting with that vinyasa portion. So just taking whichever leg you prefer in front, hands can rest on your knees here. Maybe your eyes soften or close. Giving yourself just a few moments to settle in. Might notice anything you're bringing with you to the mat today. Just noticing it. Allowing yourself to release here. Take a clearing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Bringing in some movement. Start with some shoulder rolls. Bringing shoulders up towards your ears and then rolling them forward first, a little different than our normal motion. Giving yourself a few rounds here. And then reversing directions. Finding a little more openness across the chest here. Pausing in stillness with shoulders pulled away from your ears. Inhale, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, stretching out that left side of the neck. Use your next round of breath, dropping your gaze down towards your lap, rolling forward, and then left ear to left shoulder. Give yourself a moment here, and then continuing with that motion, dropping your gaze down to your lap, and then right ear to right shoulder. Working at a pace that feels good for you. Noticing any spots that feel maybe a bit sticky or clunky, for lack of a better term. Just giving them a little extra time, breathing into it. Pausing next time your gaze is down. Then lift your neck back to neutral, nice and slow. Beautiful, rolling over your shins and ankles to make your way to a tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Inhale for cow, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, cat, round your spine. Give yourself one more round here. Bringing yourself back to a neutral tabletop. Inhale, right arm opens to the side. Exhale, bring that hand under your shoulder. Thread the needle here. You might have your ear, your cheek resting on the mat. Give yourself a full breath. Next, inhale, unwind, lifting that arm back up, opening to the side, then plant back to the mat. Other side, inhale, open your arm up towards the sky. Exhale, slide it under your shoulder here. Maybe your shoulder rests on the mat, ear and cheek resting on the mat. Full breath here. Next, inhale, opening once more, right arm lifts. Exhale, hand back to the mat. I think I said right arm both times. Inhale to extend your right leg long behind you, flex your toes. Exhale, bring your right foot between your hands for low lunge, keeping that back knee lowered, fingertips lift. Right hand grabs the left wrist. Gentle side stretch towards the right. So creating space along the left side of the body here. Breathe into that space. When you're ready, release both fingertips, lift hands to the mat. Step back to tabletop position. Other side, inhale, extend left leg long, flexing your toes. Exhale, bring left foot between your hands. Lifting your fingertips, engage that core. Left hand finds the right wrist, gently guiding it towards the left. Creating space along that right side body. Next breath, release, both fingertips lift, hands to the mat. Step back to your tabletop position. Walking your hands forward about a handprint, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Giving yourself some time here to pedal out your dog. Maybe that movement feels good, or if stillness feels really nice, allow yourself to enjoy that. Giving yourself just a few rounds of breath, whatever you need here. Next, inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up once more. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward folds. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, hang heavy. Inhale, root through your feet, reaching towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Adding on, inhale, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale all the way to the mat, lowering down. Untuck your toes, hands back by hips. Inhale, squeeze your back body for locust, lifting everything. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back. Down dog. Give yourself a few breaths here, or if tabletop, maybe some more thread the needle, or child's pose feels good for you. Allow yourself to take any of those shapes. Using your next breath, if you're not in down dog, make your way there. Inhale, generous bend to the knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale all the way to the mat, lowering down. Untuck your toes, hands stay where they are. Inhale, lift your upper body for cobra. Just as high as feels good. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back. Down dog or tabletop or child's. Few rounds of breath here, encouraging yourself to find what feels good. Reminding ourselves, the more we listen to that in our body, the more we practice taking those different shapes when our body asks for it, the easier it gets. If you're not in down dog, making your way there. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, bend the knees and then extend tall. Draw your hands to heart center. Give yourself a few rounds of breath in this Tadasana. Maybe you keep your hands at heart center, heart pulling towards your thumbs. Or you can open your hands by your hips, palms face forward, rooting through both feet equally. Crown of the head lifting towards the sky. Breathe here. Next inhale, taking your arms wide, reach up towards the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Starting with standing balance, start to shift your weight towards your left foot, pressing that foot into the mat. Right foot becomes light and then lifts off the mat. Flex your toes, 90-degree bend in that knee. You are welcome to stay here or adding a twist. Right arm reaches back, left arm reaches forward, twisting towards that bent knee. Imagining as much length between your right fingertips and left fingertips as possible. One more breath. Gently bring yourself back to center, keeping that lift. Hinge into warrior three. Right leg extends long behind you. Crown of the head reaches forward. Flex your right toes, imagining that capital T shape with our body, even if that's not really what we look like. Next inhale, bend into your front knee, finding crescent, fingertips lift. Feel that stability in your base. Hands to the mat. Right hand stays planted. Left arm opens to the sky. Revolved lunge. Breathe here. Next breath, left hand back to the mat. Step forward, forward fold. Might take opposite hand to opposite elbow, gentle sway side to side. Just a moment. Next breath, release. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reaching tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Shifting weight towards your right foot. Left foot becomes light. Bend the knee, flex the toes, breathing here. Welcome to stay right here, challenging that balance. Or right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back. Incorporating that twist. Imagining that length between the left and right fingertips growing just ever so slightly. Next breath, come back to center. Hinge into warrior three, left leg extends long. Crown of the head reaches forward. Flat back, gentle squeeze in the shoulder blades. Then bend into your front knee, finding crescent first. Nice and strong, fingertips lift. Then hands to the mat. Left hand plants, right arm opens to the sky. Revolved low lunge. Next breath, right hand to mat. Step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Give yourself a full breath in plank here, pressing into both hands, puffing up the back of the heart. Next breath, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Inhale, lifting into crescent once more. Exhale, right hand comes behind you, left arm forward, open revolved crescent. You can stay right here or bring that right hand to back leg, left arm overhead. Just a moment. Next breath, left arm reaches forward, right arm back. Inhale, right arm sweeps forward, both arms lift. Opening to warrior two. Press into the blade edge of that back foot, but also the blade edge of your front foot. Externally rotating our hips. Inhale, right palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle, left arm comes overhead. Exhale, back to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands to the mat, low lunge. Step back to plank position. Inhale and plank, full round of breath, puffing up the back of that heart. Strong core. Next breath, hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Crescent on this side, fingertips lift. Exhale, left arm back, right arm forward. Open revolved crescent on this side. You can stay here or left hand finds that back leg, right arm overhead. Give yourself a moment. Next breath, right arm reaches forward, left arm back. Inhale, left arm forward, both hands up. Open to warrior two. Pressing into blade edge of the back foot, blade edge of that front foot as well. Inhale, left palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, extended side angle, right arm overhead. Exhale, back to warrior two. Next breath, cartwheel your hands to the mat. Step back to plank position. Inhale and plank. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, generous bend to your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, steeple grip, interlacing your fingers except for that pointer finger. Exhale, side stretch to the right. Hips reach to the left, fingertips to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, other side, hips to the right, fingertips to the left. Inhale, come back to center. One more round, following your pace of breath. Keeping that heart open, so you'll notice if your top shoulder wants to dip down, gently encouraging your heart open to the side. Pausing in center when you're ready. Inhale, release your fingertips. Exhale, cactus arms, heart lifts up, elbows squeeze down. Inhale to extend tall. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step or hop back to plank position. Inhale and plank. Use your entire round of breath to lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank position. Exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Press into both hands equally. Heels reach towards the mat. Hips lift high towards the sky. Full clearing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes, lift your heart for Sphinx. Transitioning into some of our longer held postures. If it feels good for you to have a bolster under your rib cage here, you are more than welcome to. Pressing your forearms into the mat. Check in with your low back. If this feels too intense, it might be nice to bring that block at a setting that feels good. You can rest your forehead there just to lessen the intensity of the back bend. Scanning your low body to see where you might still be holding on to some tension. Just allowing those areas to soften. Encouraging each round of breath here to lengthen just a tiny bit. Three more breaths wherever you are. When that's complete, lowering down, create a little pillow here with your hands, resting your forehead there. Give yourself a moment in stillness here first. Then you can bend those knees, allowing your heels to fall side to side, windshield wipers. When you're ready, extend your legs long once more. And setting up for half frog, our yin version, take your blanket, little square about halfway down the mat on the left side. Then inhale, pull your left knee to rest on that blanket out at 90 degrees, making sure your ankle and knee are supported here. You can return that forehead back to your little pillow. Or if it feels good and is available in your spine, turn your left cheek to rest on the mat. Give yourself a few rounds of breath here. Encouraging yourself to move slowly. Bring your forehead back to your palms if it's not already there. I should say back to the hands. Extend that left leg long once more. Then shifting your blanket to the other side. Setting that up towards the middle of your mat. Bending your right knee. So right knee, right ankle are supported here with a little cushion. Pause here, forehead resting on the back of your hands. Maybe you turn so right cheek rests on the mat. Give yourself another round of breath right where you are. Slowly unwinding, bringing the neck back to neutral. Right leg extends long once more. And then slowly pressing yourself up to almost like a tabletop shape as we set up for our next pose. You'll want your bolster lengthwise in front of you. Setting up for supported child's pose. So if you prefer the blanket under your knees for a little cushioning there, you are welcome to use it. Or if you like that blanket between your heels and your sit bones, that can feel really good in some bodies. Inhale to lengthen your spine here first. And then slowly walk your hands to either side of the bolster. Starting with your right cheek resting on the bolster. Giving yourself a few moments to settle in. Adjust as you need to. Breathe here. Next breath, slowly twist so left cheek is resting on the bolster. Now if this feels pretty intense in your hips, you're welcome to lift out of the pose, giving yourself a moment here like a modified thunderbolt, and then returning to that child's pose when you feel ready. Give yourself another breath here. And when you're ready, you can begin to lift out of the shape once more. Setting up for a reclined twist. So keeping the bolster about where it is on the mat. Take your block here, and I prefer mine at its lowest setting. Just up towards the top of the bolster, just to create a little bit more of a ramp. And then you'll take your right hip up by the edge. Let's call this the mermaid pose. You can bring the blanket between your knees for a little cushioning. And then once again, with that right hip pressed up against the bolster, start to walk your hands on either side. And then laying down here, you might rest your right cheek, a little gentler twist, or left cheek can rest on the bolster if that's available in your spine. Give yourself a few moments to adjust as you need to, moving your props, supporting your body, then allowing your body and mind to settle into stillness. Bringing your awareness back to your breath. And gently untwist, pressing up out of that shape. And then just taking a little spin on the mat. Shifting so your left hip is pressing into the bolster. Adjusting as you need to, then walk your hands either side of the bolster. Maybe your left cheek rests here, or you can twist so right cheek rests on the bolster. Next breath, you begin to gently unwind, slowly pressing yourself out of that shape and preparing for our final yin posture before shavasana. There's a few options here, however you want to set up your props. Today I'm going to take my bolster under my knees and then press my soles of the feet together, allowing my knees to open, laying back for reclined butterfly or reclined bound ankle. I do this when I need a little more support. It feels a little better for my hips. In some bodies though, if your hips are already feeling pretty open, you can roll up your blanket, this little burrito, and then I like to put that around my feet, tucking it under my ankles. It gives a little support, but not quite as much. So just whichever one feels best in your knees. And of course, you always have time, permission to adjust as you need to. Try out a few options before you find what feels best today. When you're ready, making your way down to that reclined position. Giving yourself some time, making those adjustments, little micro movements. Hands might rest on your belly if that feels nice and grounding. Arms can open by your hips if that feels good. Give yourself a few rounds of breath here to settle in. Scanning your body. If this shape feels really good and supportive, you are more than welcome to stay here for the rest of practice. If it'd feel better for you to take a shavasana, maybe just extending your legs long, keeping that bolster under your knees if it's there to support you, or adjusting, shifting the props, however feels best for you. Giving yourself a few moments to make those adjustments and allow your body to settle in. Scanning the body here to see where you can bring a little more softness. Reminding ourselves you have a right to rest. You don't have to earn it. And allowing that rest to settle in here. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Body can remain still. If it feels good and is available to you today, you are more than welcome to stay in this place of rest. If it's time to close out your practice, you might start by deepening your inhales and exhales, feeling that rise and fall in your chest. You can add in some gentle movement, wiggling fingers and toes, rolling out wrists and ankles. Maybe even a good morning stretch, fingertips overhead, toes opposite direction. And taking your time, guide yourself to a fetal position on either side, giving yourself a moment there before you press up to a comfortable, easy seat. Eyes can stay soft or closed, feeling into some gratitude for showing up today, honoring your body with movement and with rest, reminding ourselves of that importance. We'll close with a collective breath. Can exhale to prepare. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, draw your hands back to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you for being part of this rad community, and I hope you have a lovely day.